In 2022, Sask Power started asking Saskatchewan residents for their input to help shape how the province is powered from 2030 and beyond. These discussions are helping inform our long-term power supply plan. We gathered input on values, priorities, and preferred power supply options, which informed the creation of multiple scenarios that show potential future power supply mixes. One of these scenarios is known as Renewables 2035. It's characterized by the goal of achieving net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2035 by increasing renewable options with no nuclear generation. Within this scenario, 4 key graphs offer insight. The first is the rate increase graph, which shows how power rates would rise compared to rates in 2023. Next is CO2 emissions, which illustrates the emissions generated in this scenario. In the bottom left is the What We Will Have graph, which represents the maximum electric capacity under perfect conditions. And on the bottom right, you'll find the How We Will Use It graph, which shows the expected energy production. Please note that not all supply options are included in this scenario. That's because this scenario represents what a renewables heavy mix could look like using the information and data that's available to us today. The supply options that make up the Other label include biomass, geothermal, flare gas, waste heat, and solar from net metering customers. We review and update our long-term supply plan about every 2 years as regulations, technologies, and customer expectations evolve. Now, let's dive into Renewables 2035. On the left, you'll see the maximum amount of power available from each source, compared to how much energy we anticipate using from each source on the right. You'll see a significant drop in emissions once conventional coal units are retired in 2029 due to federal regulations. And then another drop in 2035 when the last coal unit with carbon capture and storage is retired, along with any natural gas units that can't meet the terms of the federal government's regulations. You'll also see that as emissions reduce in the lead up to 2035, rates increase sharply. We'll continue to run natural gas units, but mostly as a backup for intermittent power sources or times of peak demand. In 2034, you'll see the first natural gas facility with carbon capture and storage, as well as increasing imports from our neighbors. You can also see our emissions are very low by this point. You'll notice the anticipated energy requirements line increases over time. This is due to factors like population growth and electrification, like the adoption of electric vehicles. Any excess power beyond that line we can sell to our neighbors. Here we can compare the availability of natural gas on the left and how little we use it on the right. All the while, new wind projects continue to be added. As with all our scenarios, increasing interconnections with our neighbors will be necessary for ensuring system reliability and operability. Let's switch gears and look at our rate increase. This percentage means that if your bill is $200 per month in 2023, it would be $527 in 2050. But keep in mind that many factors influence rates, so that dollar figure is likely to change. The amount of land necessary in this scenario to build new power facilities would total about 134 quarter sections. That's nearly half the size of Regina. As with all the scenarios, there are certain challenges associated with Renewables 2035. This scenario would require about $57 billion in today's dollars to realize. This would put a significant pressure on power rates. Right now, importing power from other jurisdictions is affordable, but that could change. Transforming the grid to ensure reliability and stability in just 11 years is also an enormous undertaking on a very tight deadline. And that 11-year timeline means there's no room for error. Every aspect must work smoothly. These challenges make the scenario so risky that it becomes unfeasible to realize by 2035. To see how our other scenarios compare to Renewables 2035, check them out at saskpower.com/engage.